Do you want to play better and stop losing in every game? To achieve that, you need to get rid of newbie mistakes. Right now, you will see 10 awful mistakes that Standoff 2 players make. My name is Mirage. Smash that like button, and let's get started. The first mistake of a noob is incorrect weapon reloading, and many will say, how can you reload a weapon incorrectly when you have a reload button to press? But the question is not whether you use it, but when you do it. Noobs often reload their weapon right in front of enemies. This is a very harmful habit that needs to be eliminated because during the reloading process, you become the easiest target for every opponent. And the problem is that you can't do anything yourself while reloading. There is a slight chance of switching to a knife and trying to get behind cover, but as we know, in practice, this rarely works. To correct this mistake, only reload in a safe situation when you are sure there are no enemies in front of you, or at least you don't hear them approaching. In any other case, it will be much more advantageous to pull out your pistol instead. With the pistol, you can attempt to fight back, and during the reloading animation, you won't be defenseless. Fix this issue and you will start playing better with any weapon, even with the AWP. Mistake number 2 of a noob is constant switching to the knife for faster movement. Many might wonder why this could be a mistake if you need to quickly change positions, and using the knife allows you to do it much faster. However, Standoff is designed on a completely different principle. The movement speed does not depend on the type of weapon as we are used to. Players often divide their loadout into primary weapons like rifles, secondary weapons such as pistols, and the cold weapon, which is the knife. But this reasoning is not entirely correct, as the movement speed of your character depends on the specific weapon equipped. The game takes into account the weight of the weapon, and for this reason, moving with a pistol or other weapons in hand won't be much slower. While you might lose timing for a fraction of a second, you gain the guarantee of being able to take a shot when encountering an enemy, instead of being vulnerable with a knife in hand. Correcting this mistake is quite easy. Purposefully refrain from switching to the knife for several games. Initially, it might be challenging as your muscle memory will reach for the knife, but with practice, you will break this habit, and it will genuinely help you improve significantly. This mistake is also deadly, and it applies to all game modes in Standoff. Noobs don't control recoil when firing in full auto, and this can lead to fatal outcomes. Their shooting consists of only 2 actions, trying to aim at the opponent and holding down the fire button, and then it's a matter of luck. But if we want to play better, we need to remember that controlling recoil is always crucial, and learning to do it is actually quite easy. In the practice range, select the weapon you want to use and fire approximately 1 magazine. Look at the recoil pattern and memorize it to understand how to control it. For example, if the recoil pattern goes up and to the left, to control it, you should crouch first, as this will make your shots more accurate. Then, while holding down the fire button, move your finger down and to the right on the screen. This action allows you to shoot almost precisely, and if you consistently follow this technique, your shooting will no longer be considered noobish, without a doubt. The 4th mistake is the lack of proper crosshair placement. Noobs usually don't pay attention to this aspect of the game. Now I'll explain how to instantly fix this issue. When observing a noob's gameplay, we often see them running around the map with their crosshair positioned closer to the ground, and in rarer cases, higher on the horizon. The problem arises when an enemy appears right in front of them. The enemy will already have their crosshair aimed at the noob, while the noob will have to adjust their crosshair to target the enemy, wasting valuable time. In crucial gunfights, every millisecond matters. To address this, always keep your crosshair aimed at points where enemies could potentially be located while moving around the map. In other words, you should be looking through walls and pre-aim at spots where enemies are likely to appear. For example, if you know that an enemy might be on a balcony, position your crosshair there in advance so that you can start shooting immediately. This is a highly beneficial skill that will significantly improve your gameplay and help you rank up. It is particularly important for beginners to learn and master this aspect of the game. The 5th mistake is being too linear in gameplay. This is especially crucial in tactical game modes like Allies, Bomb Defusal, Escalation, and competitive modes. Noobs often fail to consider the numerous positions on the map. They set a goal to move from point A to point B and simply go straight without checking anything along the way. This straightforward approach makes it easy for experienced opponents to predict their movements and catch them off guard. As a result, they get eliminated without much resistance. Therefore, when playing tactically, it's essential to check every corner and angle. Yes, it undoubtedly takes more time, but investing more effort in the game will pay off. You'll become more confident in moving around the map, rather than becoming a spectator watching others play while you get eliminated by a cleverly positioned enemy in a corner. Checking positions is the most crucial element of tactical gameplay. It will elevate your level of play, and you'll derive much more joy from the game, just like the thrill of a Starfall butterfly knife skin. The sixth mistake is that noobs don't know how to play with rare weapons. This is a somewhat complex issue, but if you understand it early on, your success will skyrocket within a few hours. Undoubtedly, in the game, there are weapons that can be considered the main choices. For counter-terrorists, it's the M4, and for terrorists, it's the AK-47. Additionally, the Desert Eagle and AWP are popular choices as well. Statistics show that players frequently opt for these weapons. While these guns are comfortable and powerful, it's essential to be proficient with all the weapons in the game, including all pistols, submachine guns, and even shotguns. Why is this necessary? Simply because you won't always have the funds to buy the best weapon in a round. In certain situations, your team might be saving money, and you'll have to settle for something less expensive. Alternatively, on an economy round, if you kill an enemy and pick up their shotgun, you can still dominate with it. However, if you don't know how to handle that weapon, it will be wasted potential. Therefore, it's crucial to include training with different guns in your practice routine, like playing team deathmatch or arcade modes using weapons you rarely use. Now, regardless of the circumstances, you can give your opponents a tough fight at the highest level, which not everyone can do, making you a true winner. The seventh mistake is panicking for no reason. This is often observed in competitive modes at lower ranks. If this is still relevant now, then please take note. You might see a player in a competitive match being the last one standing against a couple of opponents with the bomb planted. At this moment, they mentally disconnect, becoming nervous and making impulsive decisions, or sometimes they freeze in fear and refuse to move. This is a huge mistake for one simple reason. Even in a team-based mode, you are an individual combatant who should be capable of holding their ground without relying on teammates' support. Noobs often feel confident as long as their teammates are alive, but when they are left alone, all their confidence vanishes. This should never be the case. If you are already performing well, getting frags and holding your own, you can do the same even when you're alone. Granted, it might be a bit more challenging depending on the situation, but it's not a reason to give up and panic. If you can rid yourself of this habit, playing will become much easier, and you'll see immediate improvements in your results. Remember, you are a capable player, and keeping your composure during difficult situations will make you even better. Here is another mistake that noobs make chat gaming. I assure you that it's also relevant. You have surely noticed players who start arguing in the chat or begging for money during important rounds. Most often, it leads to disputes and conflicts with other players. You watch all of this unfold and you want to shout, "Just play, please, just play. That's all that matters right now." But no one listens to you, as their minds are preoccupied with something else. And if you allow yourself to engage in such behavior, stop. Engaging in chat communication like this only ruins your mood. You get distracted from the game, lose your timing, and end up AFK while typing new messages. All of this is detrimental to your performance, and I advise you to stop relying on keyboard letters. It's much better to focus to the maximum and actually show that you're the best. After all, we all may claim we play better than cheaters, but in reality, it's far from the truth. Note, the translation might slightly vary based on the context, but this version conveys the main message accurately. The ninth mistake that noobs make is skipping games, and now comes some crucial information. Many players genuinely dream of playing at the highest level, dominating every opponent they encounter. However, playing a game once a week for just half an hour can be considered a mistake of a noob, as it hinders you from achieving your goal. Let me explain how this works in practice. Standoff belongs to the category of competitive shooters, and most of the gameplay relies on reflexes. We don't consciously think about how to move or which part of the screen to tap to switch weapons. These actions become automatic as you maintain that level of play. Moreover, you improve these reflexes as you play actively. However, as soon as you neglect the game, your reflexes start to weaken, resulting in the situation you described. You want to play well, but every time you start, it feels like starting from scratch. But it's high time to take new steps and not start over each time. So, start playing regularly. Don't skip for long periods, and you'll see instant improvements. With each passing day, you'll find yourself playing better and better. Mistake number 10 is playing only sweaty matches. This is an incredibly important topic that can severely hinder your progress. Standoff is undoubtedly a competitive shooter, and it's intriguing to focus on statistics, rankings, and achieving high scores. You want to become the best and maximize everything. However, this is a dead-end approach to the game. You must never forget that playing games should primarily be about enjoyment. Many noobs overlook this, and they even dream about sweating in their sleep, constantly trying to climb the ranks in matches with high intensity. This is a detrimental mindset. Burning out from such an approach can happen quickly, and you'll stop enjoying the game instantly. To avoid this, try to have some chill days. Bring your friends together on Discord and play duels, gun game modes, or simply have fun and relax in the game. Play casually without taking everything too seriously. This strategy will help you avoid overloading yourself with seriousness. I want to emphasize that the advice in this video is not meant to call anyone a noob. We all started as beginners, and no one became a pro right away. My goal is to provide real advice and show the right example, so that every newcomer can learn something new and beneficial. If even one piece of advice from this video helps you genuinely improve, share the video with a friend. Perhaps they will find something useful too, and together you can conquer Standoff without any problems. Good luck to everyone, and bye for now.